Hi friends. So, why do trans people keep doing shit like this? Um, First off, let's acknowledge not all trans people. We are, as a community, quite hard to nail down because of our insistence on all being individual, separate people with our own lives and identities. But also, if you've been on the internet, you have probably seen some trans girls and animal ears. Let's be clear, you've also probably seen some cis girls and cis guys and non binary people. And if you've been on the internet long enough, you might have seen some animals with animal ears. What makes us compelled to do this? And why am I sitting in front of you wearing fox ears and fox makeup? And this comes down to a cool opportunity you get when you transition. And also secretly that you just have all the time, but which really gets pointed out. Really, it's easy to notice. When you transition, you go from the styles and affects and things that you were doing to make you comfortable as a cis person, as a pre trans person, as an egg. And sometimes what those are the aesthetics and styles and mannerisms that you wanted to embody when the egg cracks. But other times, and especially for me, they were a coping mechanism. They were something that you did to try and make masculinity work for you. In my case, obviously, masculinity worked for me. Um, and it meant a very sort of hyper mask. I leant quite hard into the, you know, 2014, I think, Viking aesthetic. I liked having long hair for some reason. And it gave me an opportunity to have long braided hair. God, it's so obvious. Um, but it also meant doing this very hyper masculine, embracing this. It's fairly violent, fairly man's man, chopping logs in the woods kind of energy. And as I moved to femininity, as I moved to being comfortable being a girl, I noticed that I had the opportunity to try something new. Like, I didn't have to be that. And to be super clear, I absolutely didn't have to not be that either. And a bit of me does like the idea of going out in a flannel shirt into the woods and chopping logs, just wearing a sports bra and doing it to impress women this time. Um, but also, maybe I don't have to be that. And so, what we get when we transition is the same thing that everyone gets during your first puberty, during your first, round of identity building. And it's a chance to play around. And I think that chance is super valuable. Um, so I would totally recommend anybody to play around with your identity and look at all the options. You might have an idea in your head of what you think you should be, and that idea might be what you want to be, which is great. I personally, my models of femininity are quite like non-coherent. They touch on a lot of different levels, so I'm playing with it, and I like the ears. They make me feel happy. Um, there's this very cool thing that happens when you make a significant enough change to your, profile, and it's that you kind of see your face like a stranger would. It's the same thing that happened when I got my eyebrow piercing. Was you stop focusing on all the stuff you know about your face and you get the opportunity to just look at it kind of fresh. And the ears help me. I look at myself and I see, I don't know, Fox Girl. And if I can maybe impart a bit of advice, it's to embrace the kind of cringe feeling that comes with trying on new identities and new aesthetics and new personas, because it's worth it, and you might find bits that you like. If you have a community, talk to them, tell them what you want, and you'll probably find that half the girls in your area, half the guys, half the people in your area have things in the back of their wardrobe from when they were going through the same phase. And they'll be happy to let you borrow their dolls kill blouse, or I don't know, tattoo choker, or floral print hippie trousers. It's fun. And I'd also suggest embracing it being cheap too. Like, try on fashion the way we tried it on when we were poor ass teenagers. You find the bit that you can do, and you embrace that. You, you know, draw on stuff with Sharpie. You use makeup wrong. You borrow from your friends. You make stuff yourself, and it's not great looking, but it feels great. And you don't have to transition to do this. Seriously, maybe everyone, if you feel like you've embodied a certain aesthetic for a while, zhuzh it up. See how you actually feel in hippie trousers or goth makeup or foxes. In case anyone's going to ask if I'm a furry, I don't know. I'm trying to work this stuff out myself. So I'm going to leave that one there. I love you very much, friends. This was what I meant when I said strange stuff's coming. I don't know whether these are going to stay on for the other videos, but they're probably going to be a feature for a while. I think they're adorable. I love you very much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.